What is the response from Iran on these accusations so far?
Well, they've denied having any role in this attack. Although they've praised it, they've said that they had no role in it. But their actions have been very celebratory. You had members of parliament here the day the attack happened, celebrating the attack, chanting "Death to Israel" in the parliament, and saying Palestine will be victorious. You've had other senior officials praising the attacks. But Dan, that doesn't necessarily reflect the broader attitude of the population. Very interesting here. 2 days ago, there was a big soccer match at a huge stadium in Tehran. Officials there had put up Palestinian flags in solidarity with Hamas, and the crowds that were at that stadium started chanting derogatory statements towards the Palestinian flag. So what the government is saying doesn't necessarily reflect the broader population. Nonetheless, Iran's top authority, Ayatollah Khamenei, gave his first televised speech since the attacks happened, and in that speech he denied Tehran was involved. What he did do was hail the attacks, glorify them. He said that this was Israel's irreparable military and intelligence defeat. He was wearing a Palestinian-type scarf to show solidarity with Hamas, and he went on to say that he kisses the hands of those who planned the attack on the Zionist regime. He called the attack a destructive earthquake that had dealt a critical blow to infrastructure in Israel that can't easily be repaired. And then he went on to warn Israel, to threaten Israel, telling them that if they launched a ground attack in Gaza, as he put it, it would unleash a much heavier torrent of anger. Now, even though officials here have denied any involvement, Tehran has openly and enthusiastically supported the attacks by Hamas. Leading up to the attack, there was a flurry of senior Hamas leaders visiting Tehran, meeting with senior officials, IRGC heads, and Khamenei himself. And if you look at all the IRGC channels, there was a lot of cheer and a lot of pride going on after these attacks. So the Iranians are saying that they weren't involved in it, they weren't involved in the planning, but they certainly give Hamas a lot of support, and that's why the US is suspicious.
And Ali, it's just fascinating to see the Iranians respond in this way. And of course, the risk of escalation is still very real. Ali, to your point, though, if Israel does indeed begin a ground incursion into Gaza, how do you see the response from the region? Will we see Hezbollah, for example, get involved in the war, or perhaps even Iran itself?
Well, we've already seen Hezbollah launch a few rockets and mortars from their position in southern Lebanon. It's been a sort of a tit for tat so far. The Israelis have launched back a couple of rockets, nothing major. If they were to escalate that, that would certainly change the stakes in this. Look, the U.S. is saying that there's no smoking gun to show that Iran was involved in the planning with Hamas. But if Hezbollah launched a full-scale invasion, a full attack on Israel, then they would definitely see that as Iran's hand guiding Hezbollah, because Hezbollah answers to Iran. It's an Iranian creation. Hassan Nasrallah, the spiritual leader of Hezbollah, says that they take their orders and their direction from Tehran. So there would be no question that Tehran would be involved in a full-scale Hezbollah assault. But I don't think Tehran wants to get involved themselves physically. One of the reasons Tehran has built all of these militias along what they call their line of defense in Syria and Iraq is for them specifically not to have this fight come to their soil. A big poster went up in Tehran the other day saying the fight is in Tel Aviv, not Tehran.